This session is intended to discuss the practice exercises found in your modules. For this video specifically, this will contain the discussion on the practice exercises found in lesson 1 of unit number 3, which is concerned on the subsets of the real number system, specifically on the relationships of the subsets. So let me share to you again the screen containing or the window containing the already opened material module open in a Kotobee Reader application software. So this is the content. As mentioned last time, we're not going to talk about how the contents are discussed, but we are going to jump immediately to practice exercises. We are done with practice exercise A on determining whether these numbers are rational or irrational in the previous video. Now, let's proceed to the relationships of the subsets of the real number system in practice exercises B and C. In practice exercise B, it is concerned on the identification of the relationships and need to express them in symbolic form. And in letter C, the reverse the reverse what they call that the other way, it's we are given already with a symbolic form, and we're going to determine the resulting numbers sets of numbers for the operations. Okay, so let's go to the another window containing the items so that we could actually scribble down our answers. Okay, so for practice exercise B, again we are to determine the relationships of the given sets of numbers and express them in symbolic form. Because we already know what their symbols are, so we are going to use the symbols in expressing the relationships. So let's proceed with number one. Number one is the relationship of the set of fractions and the set of real numbers. Okay. Um, we all know that the real numbers is the one big family wherein all of the set of numbers are belonging on that one. We actually have different diagrams to represent the relationships of the subsets of the real number system. But let me use this. This is the real number tree, okay, that may be found in the internet or any other references. So I would like to use this for reference. Okay, the set of fractions is located here, here. The set of real numbers is located at the top because that's the biggest. Okay? Generally, when you have a family tree in your genealogy, if you have here yours, let's say parents and you have here your parents, and then here you are, meaning you are part of the family of your parents, right? So in this case, fraction is just a part of the real numbers. Okay, fractions is a part of the real numbers. So if we talk about sets, if we talk about sets being part of the other, the term used there is actually subsets. Subset, I mean. So for number one, the relationship between the set of fractions and the set of real numbers, we could say that the set of fractions is a subset of the set of real numbers. So how do we actually do that? So let us try to use symbolic form to discuss this. So let me include here some notations. Already saved some notations from our module. So the notation used for the real numbers is this one. Yeah, A. That's for number one. Okay. And then we have here the notation used for fractions. Well, this notation here, the Z, double Z, is actually for integers. Now, for integers and fractions, because they complement each other, we use here the complement. We have two different symbols for complement for fractions, this one and that one. Generally, what we used for the operation of integers, what we decided to use is this symbol rather than this, because this is still correct. This is still the symbol for the set of fractions, but we have other uses for the apostrophe. So let's use this one. Yeah. So this is our symbol. Yeah. Number one. So Again, we all know that the set of fractions is a subset of the set of real numbers. So to write it in symbolic form, we have this symbol for set of fractions, symbol for the real numbers, and to complete it, we are to place the symbol for subset. We have two symbols for subsets. Okay, in the previous units, we have this symbol for for proper subset, and this is the symbol for improper subset. Improper, we have here the equal bar. It means it is a subset and it's also the same set with the bigger one. But since set of fractions is just a small part of the set of real numbers, we are going to use the proper subset. So this is the symbol used for the notations in number one. Okay. Number two, the relationship between the counting numbers here, counting numbers here, and the irrational numbers here. Okay. So looking at the family tree of real numbers, counting numbers are members of whole numbers. Okay. Are a subset of whole numbers. Whole numbers, so counting numbers is also the subset of integers because whole numbers is also a subset of integers. And counting numbers is also a subset of rational numbers. But there's no direct link as to the rational numbers and the counting numbers. Counting numbers, they are rational numbers, therefore they cannot be irrational numbers. In this case, the relationship here may be used as not a subset, not a subset. So to write this, we may use the expressions, the notation for not a subset. Okay, we have here the notation for not a subset. So we are going to use this together with the symbols for counting numbers and irrational numbers. So again, we are going to come up here, we paste here some symbols already available. Counting numbers are also known as natural numbers. This is what we used in the previous, in this module as a symbol for the counting numbers. So let us use this. I'm going to add this symbol, okay, N for counting numbers. And for irrational numbers, this is actually taken from the relationship of the rational numbers. So Q, Q here, symbol for Q is the rational numbers because it is the symbol used because we will say rational, they can be expressed as a quotient. That's for rational, but the relationship here is for irrational. Same with fractions earlier. We are going to use the complement, symbol for complement. We will use this symbol for complement. Okay. And then to complete this, let us use the symbol for not a subset for a while. Let me use transparent selection. This one. Not a subset of the irrational numbers. Okay, that is the answer for number two. Number three, the union of the whole numbers, set of whole numbers, and the set of negative numbers. So the union. So we are asked for with the operation. So let us try muna before answering that. Let us express it in a form of a operation. So the whole numbers. Okay. Um, what we use is W just to describe the whole numbers. Okay, just to describe whole numbers. This is what we use in this module. Okay, and then we have here the set of negative integers. So since we use the symbol Z for integers, okay, we could use Z for negative Z with the exponent negative here for negative integers as used in this module. Okay, yeah, and then we are asked about the union. In the operations of integers, we use the notation of cup. Yeah. Or let's make it better. Cup. Yeah. Oops. Yeah. Pwede na siguro na yan. Cup. Hey, this is still not the answer because this is what the union, the operation of union looks like. So what we need to comply here is the answer. What is the union? So this is the set of whole numbers. This is the set of negative integers. When we try to combine them, okay, combine the two sets, it becomes the set of integers as a whole. So we just simply use the symbol for integers, which is actually again the symbol for this symbol, Z, double Z. Yeah. So to complete, this is our answer for number 3 in symbolic form. So these are all the answers for practice exercises B found in this lesson. Now let's go to practice exercises C, already in symbolic form. So let us try to use this. We have already the symbolic form, and we are now to give the answer in the resulting set. Okay, if possible, we could try to show a symbolic form of the answer, or you can use the words. Number one, Q. We know that Q is the rational in intersection with N, which is counting. Okay, so we are trying to intersect what is we are trying to find out the common. Again, the intersection talks about the common. So we are trying to find out the intersection or the common elements of rational numbers and counting numbers. Common nila. Okay? Unsay na what can we see in the rational numbers that also can be found in the counting numbers? If we say about the relationship of the two, we could say that counting numbers is a subset of rational numbers because they belong on one area. So if we talk about counting numbers as a subset of rational numbers, the elements found in the counting numbers are also found. The elements found in the counting numbers as a whole are also found in the set of rational numbers. Those numbers are the common. Okay, those numbers are the common. In short, the common elements for rational numbers and counting numbers is the counting numbers itself. Is the counting numbers itself. So our answer here would be the counting numbers itself. Or we could use the symbol for counting numbers, which is actually earlier we used the symbol for n. Counting numbers, also known as natural numbers. So this is the answer for number 1. They're the common set of numbers. Number 2, the set of whole numbers. Okay, the set of whole numbers. Let me use another color here to emphasize the brown. The set of whole numbers less. Kasi sinabi natin subtraction less or tatanggalin. Tatanggalin yung set containing 0. So this is the whole group of whole numbers here. When we remove 0, we are left with the counting number still. Kapag tatanggalin ito from whole numbers, matitira is yung counting numbers pa rin. In short, our answer here is still counting numbers, or we could use a symbol for the natural numbers n. Okay, so this completes the practice exercises B and C in lesson number 1 of unit number 3. What is just tricky here is the presentation using symbols. But once you are able to grasp the relationships between the symbols, okay, you will also know you will also know how to use them in representing the relationships. So what happened to practice exercise B. Okay, so again, this video contains the discussions for practice exercises B and C of lesson 1 of unit number 3. The next video will be for lesson number 2. So please stay in touch and enjoy, use this video as for your review. Goodbye.